Hi there, and welcome to Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson. The episode here, sorry that I was not on last week. I was helping a friend move, and so I just hopped on week, and you'll probably get another one this week, maybe, so I can keep up with it. But anyway, I do apologize for that. But this week, what I'm doing is talking a little bit about the tournaments that were finished up this last weekend. We had Dubai, the WTA, and then we also then had also in Rio, that was an ATP, and then also an ATP in Doha that finished up. And with the likes of the one in Rio, it was Sebastian Baez who beat Alexander Mueller, and he won 6-2, 6-3, and that was on red clay in Rio de Janeiro, which was pretty good slow surface, red. So that was pretty good. And by Sebastian Baez, he was the defending champion, and he ended up winning also to repeat as champion. So very good for him to make it through the field and be the defending champion there in Rio. And then also then with we had in Dubai, we had one of the youngest women on the WTA tour, Mirra Andreeva, at 17 years old, one of the ones to win the youngest of a ATP of a 1,000 event. And congratulations to her. She won over Clara Townsend, and then she won 7-6, 7-1, and then 6-1. So she kind of stepped it up in that second set and ended up winning that one with very good. And she's been coming on quite a bit. She started out and she's been coming on. She's like she was in the tournaments, and she was at 16, and now she's 17. And she's really coming on. She does have a very good game, very strong game too. So, and she actually beat Rybakina as of late too for a victory over one of the top 10 women tennis players out there. So that's an accomplishment. She's coming on. So everybody kind of better watch out for her because she's going to be coming on pretty good. And so with that also, we had then Andrey Rublev that beat Jack Draper, and that one was in Doha. Now, Rublev has been kind of getting into some of the finals and everything, and he has such a strong game. But he had a little bit of a temper that got in with him, and he wasn't winning some of the finals that he was in. But he beat Jack Draper 7-5, 5-7, 6-1. So he really stepped up in the final set there against Draper. Draper, very good left-handed player from Britain. And he's coming on too. So he's going to be up there soon enough anyway. In the I think he's in the upper 20s right now as far as his ranking. Yeah, with that. And then also just a little something about a comeback player that is going to be coming back to the tour. And that's going to be Petra Kvitova, left-handed player, Czechoslovakia. And so she's going to be coming back to the Austin 250 event in this next month, in February, actually, starting this week. So she's going to be having a comeback at that time. But she was off for 17 months with having a child, the first child that she's had. So another mother that is going to be coming back on the tour and see how she can perform. And I hope she does come back and comes out and then does perform really good, because she does have a very good game. And I hope that she does all the best for her and everything like that. So, with that, it's just kind of like that. Everybody like, subscribe, and comment on my podcast, Tennis Volley Talk. And the new podcasters out there, if you do want to see anything, or with the racket of the day coming up, if you do want to see that, then go to my tennis channel, Tennis Volley Talk, so you can see what I'm talking about whenever I show the racket to everybody here today. And with that too, I hope that you guys do like that, what I do, and I hope that you gain some learning and knowing of some of the rackets that I do show and what I do with them, and and talking to you about the manufacturer in case you didn't know anything about some of the manufacturers out there. So it's always fun for me to do with that, being able to tell you and show you too the rackets that I do carry. As you can see, some of them behind me right now. So with that too, I do want to introduce to you today the racket of the day. And this is a very colorful racket. I really like the colors on it, the green, yellow, red, purple. And it's really very, very nice. It's called the Chemold racket, and sponsored by Rod Laver back in the day. And it's a very good, sturdy racket. With these strings and what it is, this racket's probably in around about the 50s, late 40s, mid 40s to 60. Well, maybe a little earlier than that, mid 40s to late 50s. As you can tell with these strings here, the knot and smooth strings here with that. So that's kind of and this is original stringing too on this racket, because these kind of strings were common with the color different strings on this racket with the red and white strings. That's the original string job that this racket had. And very good, solid racket too, but I like the colors. Now, Chemold actually was one of the first ones that came out with the color scheme and painted rackets. So I think it's a very colorful racket here called the Swinger racket. So with that, it's a very, very nice racket, very good. And that's what it looks like on the bottom of it, Chemold, the insignia of Chemold. And with that too, it still has a pretty good grip on it too, but it's a very solid racket, very nice, well-made racket, and solid. Very straight racket, no warping to it at all. It has a 16 and 1620 string pattern on the small racket like this. So still very tightly strung too. Now also with that, it was prominent and it was around in the mid 20th century. One of the first ones to do the paint schemes, like I said, with the racket, with the colorful paint schemes on it too. With that too, prominent in the 1920s and 1930s, but they did make the rackets all the way up through until the 70s, until they started making the aluminum and the steel rackets and everything. So the wood rackets went out, and then the newer models came in. But Rod Laver was one of the sponsors of it, and they sponsored him. Roy Emerson, to say another one, and with that too. And there was a period, the operation coincided with the that at the time when the rackets were, the wood rackets were standard in that time. So somewhere along the mid 70s, in Rod Laver playing all through those eras, he got the Chemold sponsor, and then played with this particular racket here, which is very good. Now, with that being Rod Laver endorsed racket, and as you can see, YouTubers, you can see it as I'm showing it to you. You podcasters, if you want to take a look at it, go to my YouTube tennis channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and then make a comment, like, and subscribe if you like what I'm doing here with this, kind of showing you the progression of rackets and what the manufacturers were back in the day with that. Now, also, I do want to say that this was endorsed by Rod Laver, and he was born August 9th, 1938, and he's actually still alive today. He was an Australian tennis and a player, and formerly #1 in Australia too. He was nicknamed the Rocket because he was just so good and got around the court so very fast and very well. Played professionally from 1956 to 1977, one of which I saw him in an exhibition match near the end of his career. And I would say somewhere in around about 75, 76 or so. And he was actually playing in an exhibition at a college in one of the gymnasiums that they rolled the carpet out in a tennis carpet, and they played an exhibition match in Oklahoma State University in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And I saw him and Bjorn Borg play in an exhibition match. And it was really pretty good match too, because back then, literally, I was like maybe 5 feet away from those guys playing, and just a gem to see, a legend to be able to see him play like that too. So like I said, he played from 56 to 77, won 11 Grand Slams in singles, including 1962 Grand Slam, where he won all 4 tournaments in the single season. And he was an amateur back then when he did that, because he wasn't allowed to go on to the tour, the pro tour at the time that way. But then in 1969, he was a professional, and then he did it again. He repeated and won in the Grand Slam, all 4 in the same calendar year when he was a professional. He was #1 for 5 years, from 65 to 1969. The year the men landed on the moon, matter of fact. Sources say he held the title in 1964 and 1970, but in 62, he was the #1 ranked player in 1962. So as an amateur. So, but then also with that too, in those times, they did do like barnstorming and everything. So he was involved with some of the barnstorming with some of the guys out there, that they would go and just go to different cities and lay out the court and then play an exhibition in different cities all over the U.S. and all over the world, really. Which at least they got at least some money that way and were able to do that. So it was really kind of nice that way too, with that. So with that, I thank you very much, and I hope that you do like what I do. I do like doing the over the phone interviews too. So I hope that some of those will be coming down the pike. I have some things that I'm working on. Hopefully that I can get a hold of some people and get that taken care of too. And with that too, I do want to just say, like, subscribe, and comment for you YouTubers and also you podcasters. And let me know what you like. Get back to me, and I will try to do what you might think would be good to do. And maybe see if I can get a hold of somebody or something. And, that would be really nice to be able to do an over the phone with a tennis pro. So hopefully that could happen or something like that. So any of you tennis pros out there that may have caught my podcast, reach out to me, and we can do an interview and see how that goes. That's what I would wish for. So everybody, if you're out there in the nice warm states, get out there, play this week. Here, still a little cold, so I play inside. And I'm going to be playing tomorrow, actually, singles myself, which will be a pretty good, hard one to try to win. He's the guy I'm playing with, and I've had him in-house guest before, Rob Small. He's 41. So yeah, I have a few years on him, but I try to do what I can to play those youngsters in singles. So everybody have a nice week, and I will talk to you maybe this week, or then I'll for sure talk to you next week. Thank you very much. Have a good week.